Try to. No, that'll be too much.
No.
Do I have the right thing on here? Yes. Hello, everybody. Hi. Sorry I had to reschedule this. I know I said I was going to do it at 12:30, but you know, some stuff came up. So here I am. Okay, so hopefully StreamYard is going to act right today. I've got enough bars up there. So let me tell y'all about this title that I have today. Now, I wasn't planning on coming on, like I said, at least not yet. However, when I woke up this morning, I saw the story about the Microsoft Exchange and how it's, you know, they're now discovering that individuals, of course, have exploited various things and are, you know, are using ransomware to do the stuff that they like to do. Okay, and that really upset me. Okay, like it really did, but it was because of, you know, it was just like an accumulation of stuff, right? So I've been doing some work with somebody else to create some security projects. Okay, now when I say security projects, I mean that. Okay, I mean active defense and security, right? I don't mean pen testing and all this stuff, right? Hardening, you know, that kind of thing. So I, you know, so I went online. I've been online trying to find examples of hardening projects and various things that individuals can do at the entry level. Okay, so we're just at entry level right now. And it's hard as hell to find, you know, as some of you probably know. Even when I only type, put in quotes, put brackets, colored it yellow, all caps, I mean, whatever, only put in there hardening projects, stuff about, you know, pen testing and all that still came up. All right. So I was already frustrated, okay, by that stuff and some of the other things. So when I saw that story this morning, right, it was just like, okay, you know what? Because last week, Microsoft had to take the proof of concept of that Exchange hack off of GitHub, okay? And, you know, some folks were very upset about that. I guess they were ethical hackers, I don't know, but people who do that stuff, right, they were upset, you know, that they took it down when Microsoft was like, hey, listen, we know we created a patch. Yes, we did, but we still have tens of thousands of servers that are still vulnerable, you know, that don't have this patch, okay? And plus, Microsoft owns GitHub, so they can do whatever the hell they want to do, okay? You know, so we had that last week, and now we have this coming out. You know, it was just a whole thing, and we've just had that SolarWinds stuff. So I'm saying all this to be like, okay, listen, I have not been in the cybersecurity field officially, okay, for very long. However, I have been a digital citizen. Okay, you see what I'm saying? I have been in cyberspace for just as long as anybody else on here, okay? So what's disturbing to me is that we have a whole cadre, a whole profession that was created because there's a lot of F-ish going on in cyberspace, okay? Anywhere you have stuff happening, like you're gonna have criminals and people just doing stuff they don't need to do. We get that in the physical world too. Okay, that's not new, okay? But what is new, at least as far as I can see, is a whole profession of people with security in their title, who many of them know less about security than I do. And I just got here, okay? Because of the reasons that I've spoken about before, you know, how we're trying to think like hackers and be like them. And the problem with that, whether it's in cyberspace or not, is that you cannot keep waiting for these people to do something for us to create a proof of concept and respond, okay? And then test it out ourselves to see if that works. Okay, let's, you know, create these IOCs so we can look for that for next time. by that time they on to the next thing. Okay, so now what? We're just gonna sit back and wait for them to do something, okay, before we respond. That is such a waste of talent. We have so many talented people in this area in cybersecurity, and we're wasting it. We're wasting it, okay? And I feel like we're wasting it because it's almost like a government mentality where, oh, this is the way we've always done it, okay? We've been saying things like a hacker for 20 years now. We've never said anything else really, so okay, this is just the way we do it. We highlight and put on pedestals and give awards and all this other, to people who are great at taking advantage of weaknesses. That's an amazing thing here. Okay, that's how we do it here. We reward those who become skilled at taking advantage of weaknesses. Okay, and for those who are trying to protect the individuals, the organizations, the people, the systems with the weaknesses, we don't give them as much attention. Okay, even though the word security, like we are blatantly saying we are cybersecurity. Now, let me tell you what this is like. Okay, for our the middle school kids that me and somebody else created a course for, I put in there as an example manifest destiny, okay, which is the mindset. Manifest destiny is the mindset of the individuals who came over here, around the time of Christopher Columbus and all that, because they wanted to get away from a tyrant. Okay, the king was a tyrant. They couldn't do shit. Okay, they couldn't have their own religion. I mean, you had to follow all these various rules, and they were like, I'm not living like that. I'm not raising my children in an environment like that. Okay, so we out of here. Okay, we bye, like we're gone, which is great. Okay, so now the manifest destiny was like, it was almost like, how Malcolm X said, how did he say that? Did he say by any means necessary? I think that was him who said that, right? We will be free by any means necessary, whatever it takes. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And, freedom is a big deal. You got, William Wallace and all these people who, it's all about freedom. We like that. Okay. We like to have the choice to do what the hell we want to do, which is what security is, right? Security being the state and feeling of being safe. And once you're in that state, once you have that feeling of security, that empowers you to act, that empowers you to go and do and make choices and do stuff that you want to do, okay? Because you're not restricted now, because if you think about any situation where we don't feel safe, we lock ourselves in, whether that's physical safety, emotional safety, psychological safety, whatever it is. In any instance when we don't feel like we're secure, we're not going to just be out there like that, okay? Because we're going to be on our guard, we're going to be looking for danger and all this, okay? Now, in the physical world, that's pretty easy to do because we can see when the lion is running at you, okay? You can hear when somebody's wiggling your doorknob and respond to that stuff. In the digital world, okay, we don't know. Many times, we do not know that we have a lion sitting right in front of us. We don't know that we have venomous snakes in our networks. We don't know that. We can't see that. Many of us cannot see that, which is why cyber professionals are here, okay? So that they can see it, right? And warn us and do something about it and still, do what they need to do in the network so that we can still, even with the venomous snakes in the network, they do what they do so that we can still remain secure while we're doing our work, okay? So that's what they're there for. So when it comes, if you compare that to, back in the day, like Manifest Destiny, the people came over here and so-called discovered America, which is what I meant in the presentation that I did for Blacks in Cybersecurity when I talked about how criminal behavior, criminal hacking has been whitewashed. Okay, it's been made to seem as something, bad but okay, bad but good, bad but something that you may want to learn how to do, bad but useful. You know what I'm saying? So discovering America, that's a whitewash. Okay. If somebody came over here today talking about we discovered America and did the same stuff that they did back then, what would we call that? No, you ain't discovered nothing. You just declared war is what you did. Okay. You ain't discovered anything because we already here. How you discovered when we here? Okay. It's blatantly, clearly whitewashed to say discovered. It's clearly, blatantly, whitewashed to call it, oh, it's just ethical hacking. No. I'm not going. Everybody else can go. I'm not going. Okay. So, which is what frustrates me so much, right? Because one of the things that I said, when I put the Manifest Destiny stuff in there is, what the individuals who are already here, in this land, one of the things they were missing were protectors. They did not have somebody who had the same technology and know-how as the people who came over here to help them maintain their freedom to be secure. Okay, they didn't have that. And what happened as a result of that? By any means necessary. If we got to get rid of you, that's just what we're going to do. Okay, because we want to be free. Okay, you know how the guy who worked with Bill Gates, I forget his name, but he said how information wants to be free. Okay, the people who, there's not really a malicious intent with wanting to be free, but it turns into malice when you trample on somebody else's in order to gain yours. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I talk about human rights and cybersecurity. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like we are here as cyber professionals to help maintain human rights in cybersecurity. Okay. You are in this digital world. That's just where you are. That's just where all of us are. Just like when we're born into this world, we're born into a world with a lot of wonderful things, with a lot of crappy things. Okay. Same thing with the digital world. The second you plug some stuff in, you there, just like being born. Okay. You're part of a global network that has, nice things going on and a lot of dark, terrible things going on. Okay. So now, just like in the physical world where we have law enforcement and attorneys and, all this stuff to help us, maintain some kind of order. So everything isn't just anarchy, right? We have protocols and all this other stuff in the digital world and cyber professionals and, the FBI doing what they're doing and all that. So we have all that, okay? But the problem is, I feel like in our profession, and I've not seen this in other protecting professions that claim to be here to protect people, okay? I don't see them chasing behind the people that they're trying to protect us from. I can imagine, the equivalent of cyber professionals being back then, okay? Having a group of people who are saying, okay, listen now, Columbus and your crew, all right? What you want to do is fine. Like, we understand wanting freedom and all that, but what you're not going to do, okay, is trample over and disrespect what's already here, okay? This space, this network is not yours, okay? So that means, we got to do something else, because what's not going to happen is for you to just come in here and take stuff that does not belong to you, okay? But I feel like today, hackers are just really able to do that. And they don't care about cyber professionals. Like, they really don't. They don't. They're not scared of cyber professionals. If they know organizations, they got a whole SOC and $1 million equipment, and people got certifications up the wazoo, and I mean all that. Do you think that stops them from doing anything? Do you think they're intimidated by that? No. They are not. Because number one, they know you got to wait for me to do something, okay, for you to find me if you can do that, okay, and then discover what I've done and then try to, plan for it the next time, which by that time I'm on to the next thing, okay. They're not looking behind them as cyber professionals for what, okay. So the fact that we preach so much about needing to hack to be able to defend, I think that's balderdash. Okay, you hear me? It's ball. I don't believe it. I'm not going. I'm not going with that either. Okay, I'm just not. I'm not going. And I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. For me, so my sister-in-law and her boyfriend were here the other day, and we were talking about this. Okay, and I was giving the example. When we think of firefighters, like for many of us, we think of like heroes. These guys, they're running into like dangerous situations to save people and property. Okay. They're going down in wells, little girls falling in wells, and they climb up trees to get cats and all that. You know what I mean? They are really here to, for the protection of people and property. And if you're fighting a fire, you do need to know what the hell a fire is, okay, and how it works, and what happens when you open a door, when the oxygen gets in there, what smothers it. You need to know that kind of stuff, right? For your own protection, okay? Not just the protection of the people in the house, but for yours too. You need to know how this thing moves, okay? How it reacts to certain chemicals and what's the best way to put it out and all that stuff. But what you don't need is certifications in arson. That's what you don't need, okay? You don't need to think, and try to figure out, okay, the worst arson, like this is how the worst arsonists do it. So let me go set a whole bunch of fires and get a certification in fire starting, okay? And you got a whole, all the best certifications are about, starting fires. That's crazy. And that's when you tell me I have to learn how to hack in order to defend, that's what I hear. That's like a firefighter saying, I got to learn how to set all these different kind of fires in order to fight the fires. Okay, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, and the time you're spending setting fires, you don't know how to climb a ladder. You don't know how to work the damn hydrant to put the pole in there. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Come on. Yes, they need to know what a damn fire is. What a fire is, okay? They need to know what that is, right? But they're also working with other people, okay? They work with law enforcement and who do you call these people who do profiles of arsonists and crazy people and all that, profilers and all that. So there's a whole team of people working together, right? To be sure that not only is the fire put out, but that they catch this person before they do it again, okay? The fire is put out, everybody's still safe. And, at the end of the day, hi, Kareem, how you doing? It became ethical when people started going to prison. Remember, 90% of apps and software used is not created by the users, right? So, that's really why, I don't know if you saw on LinkedIn today, how I put on there, help wanted, okay? Because I really do feel like we are in our own way when it comes to protection, okay? I feel like we have been brainwashed to feel like we are less than these malicious hackers. We are less than bug bounty hunters, okay? We are below individuals who find zero-day attacks, okay? I feel like we have bought into that, and we feel like I'm not a real cyber person. I'm not a real protector. I cannot help secure anything if I don't think like the person that I'm trying to protect these people from. You will forever be behind if what you believe is you got to think like this person in order to do a good job at what you're doing, okay? Where does that make any, how will you ever be creative, ever, if you're chasing behind somebody else doing stuff that is wrong, that is not right. I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't. Okay, I don't. DevOps is still a small field. Hacking was when you actually knew and understood how apps and software work, just not use the apps. Kareem, real hacking, people do that all the time. Okay. Though if just like I don't know if I talked about this the last time, but anything can be hacked, which only means you're repurposing something to do something that it was not created to do. Okay. It was not purposed to do this. It's like, what do you call that? The hardware root of trust, right? You know how the hardware root of trust, you know, how all those certificates and all this stuff works, and you get to this level and you get a check in the next level, you know, when you're booting up and all that, you know, because so trust is about what the hardware can do. I am trusting because the root of trust, like it went through the whole thing. Okay, it got checks for, okay, this is secure, that's right, you know, you got your BitLocker and all that stuff. Okay, you go through the whole thing, the computer comes on. Okay, I can trust that this computer will take the input I give it and give me the output I asked for. Okay, and all the other stuff that computers do. Okay, I can trust, because it went through the whole thing, that this hardware can do that. Okay, trust is about what it can do. Okay, same with the software. You got the software, you know, trust stuff. You know, this software can do, you know, what it says it can do. Just like a chair, the chair I'm sitting in right now. Okay, I trust that this chair can do what it was created to do. Okay, and it's doing it. It's holding me up. All right. And but the thing is, though, right? If you can do something, then that naturally means there are things you cannot do. Okay, isn't there? And so the chair is here, and the box and all that stuff said, you know, you can sit in this chair up to this many pounds, and you can roll in it with the whatever. Okay, but just because it can do this doesn't mean it can't do. I can't hack it to make it do something else. Okay, which I absolutely can do that. Right. This pen was made for a certain purpose. Okay, if somebody come in here through my door and I stab them in the eye with it, that's not what pens are for. Okay, but I used it for that, you know, in this particular circumstance. You know what I mean? So everybody, I mean, we call it down in the South, we call it something else. Okay, which is not, I'm not gonna say it here. Okay, but when you repurpose something to do something else. Okay. Don't feel that way. The information cyberspace field only opened up to everyone else in the last 10 years. And I think that's one of the issues too. I hate to say, no, I'm not gonna hate to say it. I love to say it, okay? The fact that, and you can see this in other professions, we got a lot of testosterone here in the cyber field, a lot. We have a lot of testosterone over here, okay? And testosterone and that perspective that comes with it, okay? It's funny because one of my videos on here, okay, where I'm talking to my friend, he actually said, because men are natural protectors, that's why we gravitate so much to cybersecurity, okay? Which may be true. I don't know. Okay, is that what it is? I don't know. But the thing is, this is not the kind of field. It's not where you can only, you know, that can only be represented by, you know, one kind of perspective, or even two kinds of perspectives. You know, this is not it. No, this is not it. Okay, you got to have all kinds of experiences here, because this is a digital world. This is what we're talking about here. We're not talking about one organization with 10,000 people. We're talking about 7 billion people. Okay, you know, in a network. That's what we're talking about. You cannot, you know, have little representation. That's craziness. Okay, because what you're going to get what you got right now. All right. So what I am looking for, Kareem, what'd you say? The team, everyone else in the last 10 years, the team that worked on Exchange for example, was about 4 people. What is out of the field now has been re-engineered by 100 different hands now. And you know, oh, yes, right. Are you talking about that? What do they call that thing? What is that called again? Proof of concept. You know, I just learned about. I didn't know that they did that. At least not in that way. I didn't know that they took like when something happened, like when a breach happened or something, they would make a proof of concept on it and put it in GitHub so other people can like do it and stuff like that. But this is what I'm asking for, y'all. I know that we're better than that. I know this. I know that we can discover 0 days just as well as anybody else. I know that we can create tools, okay, just like anybody else. And I also know that we don't have to do this by ourselves, which is the wonderful thing about cybersecurity, right? Because when people say cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility, that's just like saying physical security is everybody's responsibility. And I know that. I know physical security. I know my county is not going to have a police officer standing at my door 24 hours a day. Okay? At some point, I am responsible for the security, you know, of my space. You understand? And then, you know, you call in the law, or, you know, and the whatever, you know, when other stuff pops off. We don't understand that in cybersecurity though, because you know what we do? We say, oh, the cyber people here, okay, I gotta do nothing. I just gotta make sure I don't plug in damn USBs or whatever. Okay, but they gonna take care of all that cyber stuff. Okay. When for 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, I'm in the digital world, just like this here. I'm either here or I'm on my TV, you know, my smart TV, using a smart device, the Fitbit, like whatever. I am almost forever connected in the digital world. But I do not see that I have responsibility the way that I see it in the physical world, okay? Which is also something we need to work on. It is not the cyber professional's job to protect the organization. It's everybody's job, okay, to protect the organization. Just like it's not the police officer's job to protect me in this house. It's his, mine, you know, the neighborhood watch, everybody, you know, gotta play in that. But because we cannot do it all by ourselves, we just can't. It's not gonna happen, okay? And especially if, this is another thing I wanted to talk about, right? So the next time I come on here, and I promise the next time I come on here, because I got all my stuff together, I got my notes right over here. We got to talk about this policy. We got to talk about it, okay? Because policy, the way it should be, enables you to do stuff. The only reason you can do stuff is because of policy, okay? If you're writing it correctly, and if it aligns, so you got your, you know how you got your administrative, your operational, and your technical. All that stuff got to be there. You see that all of it, it all got to be there, okay? It all has to be there. You cannot expect to have good, I don't care if you got every FedRAMP control on the damn thing, it don't matter. It does not matter. If you don't have all 3 of those working together, you're done. You could tighten and harden and all you want to. But if your admin and your operational policies are trash, your whole program is trash. All of it. All of it. Okay? So all of those things have to work together. And real policies that are doing what they are supposed to do enable us to do stuff in the organization. They don't stop you from doing nothing. Just like we have policies, written policies for how we drive on the road. Does a stop sign stop you from driving? Do those the lines in the road, the ones that tell you when you can cross and when you can't, okay? Which are policy, you know, the lines themselves are like the operational part of that, right? But or the technical part. But do they stop you from driving? If transportation policies stop you from driving, that would be the most ridiculous. I mean, what? That's crazy. And I just said, what is security? If you're really secure, what does that mean? That means you are empowered to act. That means you feel free to be like, okay, I got room to do my job and all this stuff. If security policies stop you from doing your job, okay, your organization is trash, or the policies they're writing ain't no good. Okay, I'm just telling you, that's just the way it is. Okay, so when we meet next time, we're going to talk about policies that enable versus those that are just trying to be compliant with somebody told you to do. And that's another thing. Compliance. Oh my goodness. Okay. Compliance is important, yes, because it's it's an attempt to be sure that everybody is doing stuff in a way that's going to aid us in meeting our mission. Okay, you got to take sexual harassment training. Okay, and why do we do that? That's a compliance thing, right? Because again, listen, we've done the research, we know what's going on. You cannot be up in there feeling on people and talking to them any kind of way and making them feel uncomfortable. That's not good for business. It's not good for business. Okay, so we need y'all to know that that's not good for business. You got to take this training. It happen every year. All that. Okay, all that. Your sexual harassment policy should not stop you from working well. Okay. If the fact that you can't feel on people's booty is stopping you from working, then you got a problem. Okay, you got a problem. Same thing with any compliance in the organization. Okay, it is not there to stop work, but there's a lot of stuff you got to comply with, right? There's a lot of stuff, but it's the same on the road. Don't you have to comply with a lot of things? With a license, and when we're driving and obeying the signs, and don't go to DC and try to park. Okay, all them different between 2 and 3. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but at the end of the day, they should enable. Okay, and an assault charge depending on the state. That's right. Oh, that's nice, Kareem. You said computer science being split into information systems and moved over to the business school. More women entered the field. At least that is what I saw. That's great. And that's the thing, right? So I need a team. I need a team of people who are not scared to ask questions, who are not afraid to wonder if what they're doing is actually the right thing to do. When it comes to security, okay, who are okay with critically evaluating what we're doing, and knowing that you don't have to, have a certain degree or certification or whatever. You don't have to have that to come up with a useful, meaningful idea. Okay, and a lot of times it's those kinds of people that we really, really do need. Okay, when we have these conversations, I envision people from all over the organization. If you work in facilities, if all you do is bring in the mail, I need you in this meeting. Okay, because I need your perspective. You understand? And doing stuff like that. If it is true, when we say cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility, why don't we include everybody? Okay, you're telling me something is my responsibility, but I don't know nothing. All I know is I got to get this training done every year so my computer don't get shut down. But you tell me it's my responsibility, really? Okay, you think you're going to sit back and just tell me? I mean, come on, we're human beings. Okay, y'all know humans don't work like that. You don't even work like that. Okay, you don't. You absolutely do not work like that. So there's a whole, so there, the field of cyber psychology that really brings humans and machines, together, that you can't separate them. You can't. So when you're wondering why, things aren't working for you in your knock and your sock and all these other places, why aren't people, doing what we need them to do or whatever? Look at your controls. Look at your controls. Okay. Don't look at me. Look at your controls. If you have a policy that everybody, when they come to the cafeteria, will sit in a chair, and I go to the cafeteria and ain't got enough chairs, I'm either going to be standing or sitting on the floor, or I'm leaving, because I ain't standing, but you complain, well, the policy said you got to sit in the chair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Come on. We got to think. Like, it's okay to think. It's okay. It's all right to think. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you what to do. It is okay to have our own thoughts. Okay, I feel like that needs to be said. I feel like that needs to be said in this field. When I was studying for my CAP exam, I had in there, for those of you who saw the mural, when I went through the questions, if I got it right, I said, I knew that for those I got right. For those I didn't get right, I said, I learned something new. And I had a third option. Okay, I don't agree. This is for the CAP exam. Okay, I don't agree. That might be the right answer on this exam, but I don't agree with that. Okay, now I passed my CAP exam. Okay, I did all that. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to agree. If you have another idea, if you have a reason to say, you know what, that don't sound right to me. I know we've been saying it for a while. I know it's coming from the CISO or the CISSP. I know this person has written books about it. I know, that they've been in this field since it started. I know all that. But guess what? I don't agree. You can say that that is okay. Okay, you can say that. Hi, Professor Black Ops. I'm so glad to see you here. So one of the things, these are some of the things that I'm thinking of. So me and my partner are working on this. We're creating security projects, okay? They're all about active defense and hardening, okay? I've been doing research, just, research on what that'll, and it's for entry level, okay? We want to try to get them to a level of proficiency, right? Not performance, proficiency. Do we know the difference between those two, right? Where performance is me being able to, I'll give you a great example. I took 8 years of Spanish. I got A's every time, from junior high to college. A's for my transcripts, Spanish. If I had to speak Spanish today to save my life, I would be dead. Dead. I was able to perform. Oh yeah, I could perform. I can take this test. I can answer these questions. I can, talk about what I had for breakfast in Spanish right now before the test. But don't ask me that 2 months from now, okay? Because I just need to perform right now. It's just like a play, like you're on a stage. You learn your lines and you perform, okay? That is not proficiency, okay? Proficiency is, and the way you learn proficiency is not in a classroom. Proficiency is somebody dropping my tail off in Spain with no English speakers. It's just me and a whole bunch of Spanish speakers. And for me to survive, I got to learn the language. Now I got to become proficient real quick. This is not about performance. It is not. Not only do I have to learn the language, I might be in a place where, it's a different dialect or something. How we have, the Southern people, they talk, and I'm from the South and I can barely understand a lot of them people. You know what I'm saying? So proficiency is you are in there. You are in there. And the more proficient you become, the less help you need. Now, if they drop me off with a Spanish English dictionary, okay, that's a low level of proficiency, okay? Because I need, every time you say something, I say, hold up, let me see what, and I gotta interpret like that, right? When I can put that dictionary down and just listen to you and respond, okay, I'm good. I'm at a much higher, maybe advanced level of proficiency. When I can teach you Spanish, okay, now I'm at the expert level, okay? But that proficiency never comes from a classroom, ever. Because the thing about proficiency is you have no idea what the environment is going to give you. You don't know. You don't know. Okay, that's the thing about proficiency, right? You have to be in there experiencing some stuff, just like when you got your driver's license. The guy had to be in the car with me, when I was driving. I had to take the written test and all that stuff. But to get the license, somebody had to be sitting with me, but I still had to be driving, and I had to be on the road. It wasn't them cones in the school parking lot, okay? I had to be on the road, right? Now, he was there with me still, but at some point, he had to get the hell up out the car, and I had to learn how to drive on my own, okay? To become more proficient. Now, I'm still not a proficient driver, okay? I know people who are a lot more proficient than I am, but I can get from A to B safely, okay? Anyway, so there's that. So the projects that we're doing are about proficiency. Okay, it's not about sitting up in your face with you listening to me tell you what to do. Okay, it's about you getting your behind out there on your own and figuring it out. Okay, figure that stuff out. All right. And then there's the different levels, basic awareness, all that stuff. Okay. So the projects are that, but they are strictly security projects. Okay. If we do, and there will be a few where we do some, what the hell is that called? Pen testing or whatever the hell. But immediately after, first of all, you got to know what's happening. Okay. Why is someone able to open that door when I locked it? How did that happen? Well, what kind of tool allows you to open a locked door? What tool allows that to happen? Okay. It's hardened. So understanding what is that tool, and how does that tool work? All right. What are the vulnerabilities in that tool? Okay. What can I do, so that tool, not just the person, the tool they're using, because a lot of these, we give them a lot of credit for cracking passwords and shit, and they ain't doing nothing but sitting back, turning a dial or turning something on, and the computing does all that. Look at passwords, 90,000 a second or whatever it does. Okay. And when the thing pings, okay, we got it. Okay, good. Now I can go back, right? So it's not just about the hacker, the wetware, which is what we call ourselves, right? You got the hardware, software, we're the wetware. Okay. It's not just about that. It's about the software that they're using. Okay. The tools that they are using. We got to understand them tools as well, how they work. How is Burp Suite able to get up in here to see this kind of stuff when I hardened it? Okay, how are these things? What is it doing? What is it doing? What vulnerability is it using? Okay, in order for that to happen. So these are the questions, right? These are the kinds of things that need to be investigated, right? And they need to be investigated in a way where we actually have to figure it out. Okay, we may have to try it ourselves. Well, let me try this thing, and see how how Wireshark is able to see this when I put this control in place or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? That's that's perfectly fine. And then what tools can I create myself? Okay, what kind of, I read something about a tripwires. Like, what the hell is a trip? Like, how do you do that? Like, what, how do you create a tripwire in code or something? I don't know. But so it's those kinds of things, right? So y'all know me. Y'all know how I talk. Y'all know, where my mind is and all that. And I'm not about the status quo. I'm just not about that. I want, because I know it's possible. I want to be able to hack malware to make that shit do what we want it to do. Okay. You got some keyloggers over here. Okay, cool. What's the attack surface of the keylogger? Okay. How can we use this for our own purposes? You know what I'm saying? How can we find the 0 days? You know, we can do that. We don't have to wait on malicious hackers to do some stuff and investigate it and you know, and try to recreate. We ain't got to do that. They need to be doing that over here. If you have, I really feel like this. Okay, how long I've been on here? I'm about to get off, but SEAL Team 6. Everybody knows SEAL Team 6. Okay, and even before that, Navy SEALs. There are certain teams that just have a reputation. Okay, anybody cannot be on SEAL Team 6. You just can't walk up there, do some push-ups, and be like, no, 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 no. That's not how they do that. Okay. I feel like if we had some security teams that were like that, where malicious hackers actually thought twice. Oh, y'all, this is a team that's over there. Okay, I don't know if I want to waste my time. Okay, in this organization. Not if they got, you know, this security team over here. I might do better over there. Okay, you know what I mean? Or, you know, if I try, I'm not gonna be there for long because they're gonna know I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no intimidation factor right now at all, as far as I know, as far as cybersecurity teams. Like who's the cybersecurity SEAL Team 6 out there right now? I'd love to talk to them. Use regular expressions, then you PHP and Python and Hadoop. Is that referring to the burp suite? What do you mean by that? Yeah, but that's what I feel like that's possible. I really do. I feel like that's possible. These people are like this team, this cybersecurity team is so good, so creative. They do stuff that just surprises. Okay, you got the compliance down, that's fine. All right, but the organization is such that it's not like it's impenetrable, because nothing is impenetrable. Okay, nothing is impenetrable. However, I will think twice, you know, before I decide to, you know, to spend my time and my resources trying to discover a network, okay, and just doing some stuff in there. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, right? Is you know, I need people I need cybersecurity people who are actually interested in security. You know, cybersecurity people who are not enthralled. I mean, enthralled, like you worship hackers. I can't use anybody who feels like they are nothing if they don't have you know, if they're not experts at OSCP. I can't do nothing with that. Okay, I need people who are invested and interested in preserving and helping to secure the freedom of people and businesses to be in the digital world safely. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? Like those are the kinds of minds that I need. I'm not and I don't want to spend my time trying to convince people about security. You know, who got time for that? You know, if you want to be a hacker, be that. Okay, go ahead and do that. But this is what I'm asking for. This is what I need. Okay, this is what I need. Social engineering is often mislabeled as a legit breach of the malware engineering. So one thing I said, Kareem, was about how if you're a human body, okay, because the whole thing is about back to the hardware root of trust, right? Yes, there are things that the hardware can do, that it was created to do, okay? But because of that, everything will always have a vulnerability. You will never 100% harden anything. I don't care what it is. You will never do it. Never. That's like, because a vulnerability is like the space around us. Okay. The space around us has to be vulnerable for anything to go in it. It has to be. If the space around us was too thick or too whatever, we wouldn't be able to do nothing. You know, it has to allow everything. You will always have vulnerabilities in everything, okay? Be it physical, mental, emotional, whatever. When you dream at night, okay, don't you have space around everything in your dream? Your dreams need vulnerability. Okay, you gotta have it everywhere. So stop. Ain't nobody gonna plug up every vulnerability. That's not the point. Okay. But what we can do, you know, what we can do when it comes to this trust, right? The root of trust in the software and the hardware and all that stuff, you know, is that's where the controls come into play. Okay. Where controls are just like a maze. Think of a maze. A maze is guiding you in certain directions. Okay. Now you could bust through the wall. You could, like, we went to the maze down Luray Caverns. It was a bunch of bushes. I could have walked through the damn bushes and get some other way, but you know, who's going to do that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because not just the physical control of the bushes, right? But they have rules. And I want to come to the maze again. So that's another control. It's the rules about how you got to get through that thing. You know what I mean? What are your controls doing in all of this vulnerability? Okay. What are those doing? Right. And it's, again, like I said in the beginning, it's not just the technical. All of them got to be doing their role: administrative, operational, and technical. And we have to know what those are. Okay. I don't care how technical you are. All right. You need to know what all the controls are, right? Because the technical supports the operational supports the technical, the administrative supports they all support each other, okay? Or at least they should. Okay. And if they don't, that's where your problem is, right there. Okay. That's where your primary problem is in your controls. And if you don't know what they are, that's your fault. Okay. Go look at the damn policy. Okay. See what it says, see what it's allowing. Because if something is happening, if people are not stopping at the stop sign, even though there's a stop sign there, there's a control that is out of whack. It's not the technical, because the stop sign is there. They may have written in the transportation policy, you must stop at stop signs. It must be the operational. Nobody's enforcing it. Okay. Nobody's enforcing it. All right. So I'm going to just pass on through. That's where you need to look for them weaknesses as well in your control, all of the controls. Okay. All of them. All of them. And it's not, I mean, it's ABC. It's paint by numbers. Like, it's not hard. Okay. It's just that we get so focused on our jobs that we don't realize, okay, your job is bigger than that. If your job is security, you need to know all the security rules. Don't just sit there and wait for somebody to tell you which control to put on. What's leading into this? Okay. What's the organization doing, you know, before the technical, to make sure this thing happens? Okay. Because when some stuff pop off, everybody has to answer. Everybody. Okay. Which I don't think we realize either. And I'm the first to admit, I see them. I've seen them for years, and not just in cybersecurity. These administrative controls, a lot of times, are garbage. They're garbage. But the business doesn't know that. All they know is what they have to do. What is, you know, what are regulators telling them they have to do? Which is, again, where we come in. We need to be able to speak in a way to help them understand what this is, what this means, okay? What this means. So they see how important they are in the security of the organization, okay? It's not just the sock that's going to keep you secure. All right. You went where are important too. You know what I'm saying? That's like you in your house. You in your house. You got locks on the doors, you know, or whatever you got going on. You got your technical stuff in place. You got the cameras outside, you know, but people, you don't care who just walks in and out your house whenever they want to. Like you're not doing anything. You don't care. You know what I'm saying? So everything has to feed into each other. Okay, everything needs to align. All right, Kareem, you said, what was up with the gap? Oh, Professor Black Ops, the gap. So it was a gap, and so what I wanted to see was what it looked like, right? So I've done a gap analysis for IT modernization. Okay, where we had to see, okay, well, what are the requirements? What's the current state? You know, and what do they need to do to get there? So that's basically what I was talking about, right? The current state, where are you, you know, regarding these various controls, and what's going to be required at all levels, administrative, operational, and technical, to get to where you need to be. Okay, that's basically what I was talking about. But I appreciate what you sent, though. That was really useful. Kareem, you said, I can sum up what you're saying with this. How often is SOC type 1 have nothing to do with SOC type 2? That is what you're speaking on. Remember, SOC type 2 verifies. I don't know what that is. What is SOC? Is that like tier 1 and tier 2? Like a help desk type thing? Because how can tier 1 not know what tier 2 is doing? Yeah. But I don't understand that. You want to come over here? Dr. Phillips is here with me. So he's in a SOC. So I guess he can help interpret what that means. SOC type 1 has nothing to do with SOC type 2. How's that even possible, though?
You can Google the different types of SOCs. You can look it up.
But they have different duties.
Yeah, right? I know what the tier 1 analysts at work, when I worked at Treasury, for the most part, they answered the phones, they wrote tickets, they responded to emails, you know, they checked the SIM, and they say, hey, this is what's going on. They create tickets and whatever ticketing software they have. And then you got your tier 2 analysts that would do more of the analysis, the reverse engineering, and so forth. But yeah, see, now you're looking at the different types: SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3. So those different SOC levels, or what he's talking. Go to right here. SOC type 1. Report on controls at a service organization relevant to user entities, internal control, financial reporting. Now look at SOC type 2 and top 3. These are test questions on one of those exams. CSSP or something.
Internal controls. Okay. Well, SOC 2 addresses service organization relevant to operations and compliance. Okay.
So go ahead and you enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So that is terrible. Like if they don't know what each other, how can you work effectively if you don't know? Oh, so that's required, segregation of duties?
Yeah. That two people don't have the same ability to do the same thing. And bottom line is, it's kind of from management. Because we get the job, we get paid, we got the sex and title, and we do what you want us to do, we do that, and that's all we do. The military is even.
Professor Black Ops said shout out to the doctor.
Oh, what's up, Professor Black Ops?
SOC 1 is policy, SOC 2 is the audit to verify the policy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, those are real audits, right? So what I'm at the end of the day, we all of us have goals, right? That's why trust is even here, okay? You don't need trust if you don't have a goal. Okay? All of us got them, okay? And all of us need to be able to trust the things that so you have a goal that you have, no matter what it is. If it's a goal to get married, if it's a goal to get another job, goal to have a banging YouTube channel, whatever the goal is, all right? You have to have trust. Trust is like money, because you can't do all that by yourself. I gotta trust my computer. I gotta trust YouTube. I gotta trust my all this stuff. I gotta trust a lot of things in order for me to reach my goal. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I gotta delegate. I can't do everything. I can add and subtract, but I can't do it as fast as a computer. Okay? I can't. I can write letters. I know how to write and talk on the phone. Okay? But a computer just makes it that much easier to do all that stuff. Okay? I have to trust. All right? So that ain't going nowhere. We can do that because we have goals. All right? So the organization that we're in, that the same applies to them too. They have missions and goals and objectives and all that stuff. Okay? And they need to be able to trust the controls and the people and the hardware that's in the organization, so that all that stuff can move forward. Okay? Because if you can't, you either won't be able to delegate, or you delegate things to these various entities and they end up being untrustworthy. You're not getting what you thought you were going to get. Okay? That happens in life and work, in both of them. All right? So now my goal is all messed up. I do like IBM, trust nobody, or at least verify. If you tell me you have a lock, but the lock is in the desk, yes, you have a lock. Exactly. But what good is it? What good is the lock, in the desk? And that's another question too. We ask what something is. That's fine. What is it? But you ask, what is it for? That's the question we need to ask when it comes to these networks and all that. Okay. And even when it comes to us thinking about creative ways that we as cyber professionals can, innovate and better, not just defend, okay? Because like I said in another video, you got people in your network right now. They're in there right now, looking at you, look at them, okay? But your people still need to be secure, okay? So what are the things, what are they for, okay? And what else can they be for, so that your people are secure while you got knuckle dragging wildebeests wandering around in your network? Okay, just ignorant folks discovering stuff, okay, in the name of what do they call that, free information or whatever the hell they be talking about. Okay. Whew, my goodness. All right, I think that's all I got, y'all. I think I spared you all by coming on later, because earlier I was hot. Listen, I was hot. It was not pretty. I said, let me cool down a little bit. Y'all know I get passionate about this stuff. I really do, because I know what it feels like to be violated. I know this. Okay? I know that everybody I know and love, okay, is out there, and there are people who don't give a sugar honey iced tea about them, okay? I feel like I'm in the digital world, okay? Now I feel like I'm in a profession where I can be a key player in helping them maintain their freedom to be secure. I like that, okay? I think that's sexy, okay? Sexier than breaking into some shit. I just think that, I think that's a great thing. We have a because like I said, this is about the world. The world is connected to the internet. This ain't just DHS or wherever you working, okay? You are a part, this is a worldwide web, okay? This thing is international. You understand what I'm saying? At no, all the time, okay, you are connected, okay? And with the whole thing, when you think about the BGPs and all that stuff, you know, all this stuff is happening, right? We are a very important profession. We got to do what the hell we're supposed to be doing over here, okay? Because who's gonna do it? Who else is gonna do it? Who else is gonna do it? But I need people interested in security. Okay, why do I have to say I need people interested in security to be cybersecurity professional? Oh, and like I told Dr. Phillips today, I said, listen, I went into the military. Okay, I went into the Army because I wanted money for school. That's why I went. It wasn't patriotic. It wasn't like I love my country. I wanted money for school because my mama didn't have no money to send me to school. Okay, and I wanted to go to school. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get in the military. Now, the military don't give a damn, okay, what my reasons are. I signed the paper. They put me through the training to be a defender of the United States of America, okay? The whole, now why I was there, like whatever, okay, fine. But listen, if some shit pop off, guess what's gonna happen? You are gonna be a defender of the United States of America. You've been trained to do that. We gave you the tools to do that, and that's what you're gonna do, okay? We need to do, we're real loosey-goosey over here in cybersecurity, okay? If we're talking about, we're taking what we're doing from the DOD, all right? If we, then do that shit. I mean, do that stuff, okay? Do it. You here to be a defender, guess what? Now, we have different roles in the military. We know that. People do different things. But at the end of the day, you are a defender of the United States of America. And if you're not, you're something else, which is not good, okay? Ain't no way we whitewashing Benedict Arnolds. We're not doing that, okay? So that's what I'm saying here. You can have a different skill. You can be able to do pen testing and red teaming and all that shit. But at the end of the day, you're doing it in the name of defense. If that's all you know, if all you know is how to break into some shit, then that I don't see that as being on the side of the defender. I just don't, okay? At the end of the day, you got to come together because you are a part of this defense team. This defense team, okay? That doesn't mean everybody got to know everybody else's role, okay? But you at least, at a minimum, okay? At a very minimum, you need to know you are a defender of the United States, okay? If you're in the military. If you don't know nothing else, why are you here, okay? Because this is your job. To defend and protect. You know, do you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like we have that message over here. It's very lopsided. It's very lopsided. Okay. Lopsided. Okay. It is. And I do not see for 1 minute the United States talking about we need to think like the people that are trying to attack us, you know, so that we can see what they do, then put something in place. If they do it again, now let's wait and see what they do again. No. We don't do that. We do not do that. If nobody else engages in innovative thinking, the DOD engages in innovative thinking. They're about getting stuff out there before anybody has gotten stuff out there. So I ain't even going over there. Okay, we're not gonna do that at all. Okay, at all. All right. We need to be the same way for cyber professionals. Okay, we don't be running behind nobody. Okay, we really don't. Especially if what we're looking to do is to protect people's rights to be secure in the digital world. That's an important mission. Okay, and we need to talk about it and we need to be about it more than we are right now. And then everything else will just fall into place. All right, I've been on here an hour. I really do enjoy you guys. I mean, I'm so glad y'all just sit here and listen to me rant and rave. And I really do hope I make a little sense because I get very emotional. You see that I do because I'm very serious about this. I love what I'm doing, okay? I love the learning that's involved. Like, I love all of that. I really, really do. And all I'm trying to do is like bring all of Cheryl to this profession to move it forward. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's not about me saying somebody's right or wrong or judge or whatever. You know, do what the hell you want to do. You're a grown ass person. What I'm saying is, I'm not gonna shut my mouth when I see some stuff. Okay, you ain't gotta like it. That's fine. Okay, but I'm not gonna be quiet. I did that for way too long. Okay, I'm doing that no more. I will ask questions, okay, and I will express myself, which is why I have a whole entire channel, okay, over here, round here to the YouTube, okay. Kareem, you said, what'd you say? I wish you had Streamlabs going. I can only, you said I can only type so. Kareem, I'm about to get off. Yeah, I gotta go do some stuff. We gotta work on some projects and all that stuff. But we good. Did you want to say something? Professor Black Ops, thank you so much for being here. And I do thank you again for sharing those resources with me. I'm gonna need to reach out to you for some things. So if you are, for those, anybody who's here now or those looking at the replay, like, I'm super serious about this group, okay? So I need people who can understand security, like down to the programming level, okay? Because I know I have ideas about what I want to happen, what kind of projects, what these hardening projects will look like. I'm thinking about a CTF for, what do they call them for the SOC people? Like a sockathon type thing, right? Where, because I mean, we're saturated with hacking. We're saturated. It's like the damn sponge can't get no more water in it. Okay, we need more actual security things out there. Okay, we can't have people looking at logs, you know, like they've never seen them before. Okay, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I want to put more of that kind of stuff out there and put it in a way out there that's real. Because I have to tell you, the way that some of these training companies present this information is tragic. It's tragic. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Okay. It's Shakespearean. It's so tragic, right? It's like, what the hell you want people to do with this stuff? You know, who's going to understand this? Who? You know, it's crazy. So, you know, I don't just want to put it out there. I want to put it out there in a way that's digestible. Okay. It goes down smooth like a good cognac. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're trying to swallow a celery stick whole sideways, which is how a lot of this training is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's it's painful. All right, y'all. So if you have those skills, you know somebody with those skills, you know, if you want to be a part of the group, whatever, just let me know in the comments, and we'll get this thing popping. All right, y'all have an amazing night. Thank you so much. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I will see you here next time when we talk about the gospel according to cybersecurity, when we get into these policies. Okay.